Here now to discuss is Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee, who met with one of those candidates, former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, just yesterday. Senator, welcome back to Freedom Watch.
Thank you, Judge. Good to be with you.
Thanks for being here. How did it go with Governor Romney? Is he on board for sound money, small government, maximum individual liberty, and the federal government not borrowing any more money? Were you able to talk him into all of that in your meeting with him?
Not all of that. It was a brief visit, but it was a very good visit. We touched on the most important part of it, the part that's most immediately confronting Congress right now, which involves our debt limit. And he gave absolutely the right answer, which is that he has signed the cut, cap, and balance pledge, which will result in the passage of a constitutional amendment restricting Congress's ability to spend. I believe that in one way or another, Judge, that ends up covering just about everything, because our freedom ultimately is bound up with our economic situation. As Congress borrows more money, it infringes more on our individual liberty. I hope in due time to have the opportunity to explore some of those other issues with him, but our visit yesterday was very productive.
The core of cut, cap, and balance really is your proposal to amend the Constitution to require a balanced budget. But you know from history and from your personal experience that you will be required to vote up or down on the debt ceiling before you know if that constitutional amendment is ratified by the states, because if it is ratified, it will take years. Are you, Mike Lee, a champion of individual liberty and the sound dollar and the Constitution meaning what it says, willing to take the chance and vote in favor of the debt ceiling going up on the hope and expectation, not the certainty, but the hope that that constitutional amendment might be passed?
Yes, I am, because in this circumstance, it is a very, very good, very strong likelihood that we will be able to get it ratified. And it provides us with our best, at this point, our only chance to rein in federal spending on a long-term basis, to make sure that this perpetual, inexorable expansion of the federal government, including its erosion not only of our economic liberties, but also our personal individual liberties, doesn't continue. And that's why this is worth fighting for. That's why this is worth banking on the fact that the states will, in fact, ratify it.
Are you the senator from Utah, or are you a lookalike who's telling me he's now going to vote in favor of letting the government do more borrowing? I almost can't believe what I'm hearing coming from your mouth, that there would be any circumstances under which you, a champion of sound money, would let the federal government go deeper into debt.
Yeah. Look, our spending situation is what it is. We are on this sort of autopilot path, which can't be stopped immediately, and it won't be. If those of us who believe in individual liberty, if those of us who believe that we've got to rein in Washington's spending habits, the only way to stop this is to give them something in exchange for their willingness to give us a balanced budget amendment. They will never agree to it otherwise. We've got 47 co-sponsors in the Senate. They're all Republicans, not a single Democrat yet. We can get 20 Democrats, but only if we attach this as a condition, only if we use this as a bargaining chip.
Isn't now the time to draw the line and for Republicans in the Congress to say, no, you can't borrow a nickel more? And didn't most Republicans, including you, go to Congress promising to do just that?
Yes, well, what I promised to do was to turn it around, to get a balanced budget amendment in place. This is our last, our best, at this point, our only hope of getting a balanced budget amendment in place. I don't revel at all in the prospect of having to raise the debt limit. But that's going to happen regardless if we don't do this. If those of us who are conservatives, who love liberty, who love economic freedom, don't stand up and get something out of this, then we will continue on the same path that we're currently taking. Because one way or another, my fear is they'll find a way to get those votes to extend it. And then we'll keep kicking the can down the road, just like we have been, without any plan, without any system in place to make sure we stop spending like this.
You know, I love you. But I remember a Republican president not too long ago who said, I had to use anti-free market principles in order to save the free market. Am I hearing Senator Mike Lee say that?
No, not at all. Not at all. What you're hearing me say is that you can get to the bottom of a 10-story building very quickly if you just jump off the top of it. It's not the fall that will kill you. It's the abrupt halt that comes at the end of it. You can still get down fairly quickly if you tie a bungee cord around you and jump down, but it's got to slow you down a little bit. We're spending at a rate of about $3.7 trillion a year. If we suddenly stopped all of our deficit spending, there are those in this town who believe that it would immediately result in economic Armageddon. regardless of how you and I may feel about that argument, it has become the political reality in this town. The only way we're going to stop this madness and stop it in time for it to do enough good is to adopt a balanced budget amendment right now. And this is the only way we can get there.
Senator Mike Lee, it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.